Pesachim Perek Bet Mishnah Gimel. So yesterday we discussed what happens to Chametz that was by a non-Jew on Pesach. And we says that if Chametz was by a non-Jew on Pesach, after Pesach, you're allowed to have enjoyment out of it. You're allowed to have hana'ah from it. But if that Chametz belonged to a Jew, then you're not allowed to have hana'ah from it. Yeah?
So in other words, if I had a Chametz in my house and I stored it somewhere in the storage out there,
can never be used. You cannot sell it. You cannot sell it. You cannot do nothing with it. It's gone. Nobody is allowed to buy it from you. But if you're a non-Jew, then it's okay. Okay. So we're going to continue on this Mishnah. This is especially for you, Moshe, because it has to do with the pawn shop, as you're going to see soon. So let's see what happens. Biur Mishnah Gimel. Nochri shehilva et Israel. So there's a non-Jew that gave money to a Jew. B'ma'ot kodem Pesach. He gave him money before Pesach. $10,000, let's say. And when he says to the Jew, how do I know I'm going to get the money back? So the Jew tells him, look, I've got a collection of whiskey bottles. I'm going to give that down to you. That's collateral. I'm going to give you collateral, my whiskey bottles. So now you're going to have the whiskey bottle. Al chametzo. So you gave as collateral all your whiskey bottles, the chametz. Sheheniach, very important part. The Jew cannot leave the whiskey bottles at his house. He has to go and put the whiskey bottles at the place of the pawn shop that belongs to the goy. Yeah? Let's read it again. Sheheniach haYisraeli et chametzo. The Jew has to put his chametz beyadei hanochri lamashkon. He has to give it to the hands of the nochri. He says, this is your collateral. Ve'amar lo. And this is the statement. By the way, the statement is very exact. He has to say it exactly like this, because if he doesn't say it exactly like this, we're going to say it's going to be problematic. And he says to him, Im lo ashalem lecha ad yom ploni. It says, if I don't pay you the money until 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks after Pesach, yeah? If I don't pay for the money until then, harei chametz ze kanui lecha. This whiskey is yours.
not this whiskey, this Chametz.
Yeah, this chametz is yours. But when is it yours? From now. Yes, to add the word, it's already now yours. In other words, you bought it now. If I don't pay to you until the 13th, so you're buying it retroactively.
You buy it now, but
if I'm not going to pay. Yeah? You buy it from now. So what happens? Achara Pesach mutar b'hana'ah. After Pesach, this chametz is permissible in enjoyment. Now no, because if you pay him the money, it comes back to you. It's not his. It's not his. It's there for the 3 weeks, and then we're going to see.
If he's not going to pay the money, then it's his.
That's right. Now, the Jew doesn't want it in his possession. So the worst thing the Jew can do is give him the money back. Because as soon as he gives him the money back, because at the moment that they make the deal, the chametz transfers over to the goy, and then when the Jew pays him the money, it goes back to the Jew. But he has to say me'achshav because he needs to transfer the ownership to the goy immediately, not after 3 weeks. He doesn't want to transfer the ownership after 3 weeks when he doesn't pay. He wants to transfer it now. Achara Pesach mutar bana. So in such a condition, after Pesach, this kind of whiskey or chametz is allowed to be enjoyed leIsrael, to the Jew, as long emegia zman hapiraon velo shilem lo. If the time of redeeming came, the 3 weeks came, and he didn't pay him. Why? Because when he didn't pay him, what happens? שנעשה חמץ של הנוכרי משעה שמסרו לו הישראל למשכון. Because he didn't pay him, it became his. וחמץ של נוכרי שעבר עליו הפסח, הרי מותר בנה. And at that time it belonged to a non-Jew, it wasn't belonged to Jew. ואפילו באכילה, also in eating. כמו שלמדנו במשנה הקודמת, like we learned in the previous Mishnah. ויש סוברים, there are those who hold, שמדובר במשנתנו דווקא בחגון שהגיע זמן הפירעון קודם הפסח. There's all discussion, when is the time for buying it? Is the time for buying it before Pesach, after Pesach? ויש סוברים שאפילו לא הגיע זמן הפירעון עד אחר הפסח. Some says even after Pesach. מכל מקום, אם לא שלם לו, but nevertheless, the point is, if you didn't pay, נעשה חמץ קנוי לנוכרי משעת ההלוואה. It belonged, so in other words, you're going to determine if it's yours or not yours by the fact if you pay or not pay later on. That's how I'm going to determine if it was yours or not yours. היינו, מלפני הפסח מותר בנה. Okay, let's look the other way.
You sold it on a condition.
That's right. And the condition takes place now. Right now. Yeah, not later on. וישראל, what happens? It's the opposite way. ישראל שלוות הנוכרי מעות לפני פסח, a Jew, this is you own a pawn shop, and we'll see. A Jew that comes to a non-Jew, a non-Jew that comes to a Jew, he wants money. Before Pesach, the Jew tells him, where's your collateral? So he comes and he gives him his whiskey bottles. Here's my whiskey bottles. Ma'ot ifnei al chametzo. He gives him on his chametz.
It's pawn shop here.
Yeah, it's exactly pawn shop. שהניח הנוכרי חמץ בידי ישראל, that the נוכרי put חמץ in the hands of the Jew, למשכון for cathedral. והתנה לו, and he made a condition, שאם לא ישלם לו עד יום פלוני, that if you don't pay until a certain day, יהא משכון זה קנוי לו מעכשיו. He tells the Jew, this is now yours if I don't pay until a certain day. Now the Jew is in trouble because he has chametz, and if he didn't pay, that's right. אחר הפסח אסור בהנאה. After Pesach, it's forbidden in enjoyment. אם הגיע זמן הפירעון ולא שילם לנוכרי. If the non-Jew didn't pay him, he's in trouble. Now it belonged to him from before Pesach and during Pesach. שנעשה חמץ קניינו של ישראל, משעה שקיבלו מיד הנוכרי. That the chametz became the property of a Jew from the time that he received it from the hands of the non-Jew. Now, I'm sure also in regular pawn shop, there's such a case. For example, usually you don't say me'achshav, from now. You say from later on. But when a guy gives you the lease to a car, for example, he gives you to the car, when did you get the car? If he doesn't pay, or you own the title. The fact that you own the title might mean that you're buying it already now. Yeah. The lien means that what? What does the lien mean? Yeah, but what it's not yours yet? Okay. But you can see the idea here is maybe it's not exactly like today, but the idea, I'm sure there's some circumstances where you say, I own it now until you pay me.
No, you own it as long as you make the payments. In other words, the same as a pawn shop. ככה אני חושב. In other words, if they bring something to the pawn shop, he has to pay interest every month.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't pay, then you own it. If he paid,
yeah, but you cannot make a stipulation over there that I own it from now unless you pay. In other words, I can rent it out, and I make the money. You tell the guy, you bring me an X. Right? It's mine. What does it mean it's mine? I can rent it out now to other people for the next 3 weeks, and I make the money. Maybe you can make such a, somebody gives you, this is the stipulation that's happening over here. Yeah. It's a bit strange because I don't think they do it today, but the idea, you can have it. היינו מלפני הפסח, which means before Pesach. והרי זה חמץ של ישראל שבר לפסח. So you have to be very careful to make sure that the chametz that you have, or somebody else has, is make sure before Pesach you don't have such deals that you can be in trouble with. Next portion. חמץ שנפלה עליו מפולת. What about if you have a storehouse, some chametz or whatever, a house, and the house, there was an earthquake and the house just crumbled down. And now all the chametz is inside it. Yeah.
Not available today, no?
Yeah, but with Chametz, it's yours. It's in the basement. It is your house.
It's your house.
Sure, it's just crumbled down, but it's your property. Chametz שנפלה עליו מפולת. Chametz that fell on it, yes, landslide. קודם הפסח. So we're going to consider it, הרי הוא כמבואר. It is just like it's been destroyed, because you don't have access to it completely, there's no way to get to it, so it's considered to be like it's gone. It's not yours. Yeah.
Maybe you can burn it.
You can't. Yeah, but it's all like the bricks. There's nothing to burn. הרי הוא כמבואר, we consider it like it's gone. ואינו צריך לפקח עליו את הגל. You don't need to take it out, start taking the stones and working hard to take it out. לפנות את ערימת המפולת, you don't need to take the landslide away from it, כדי לבערו, in order to burn it. ומכל מקום, nevertheless, צריך לבטלו בליבו. A person still needs to say that this in his heart, that this chametz doesn't belong to me. Why? שמא יפקח הגל במועד, because you, somebody else, is going to start removing some bricks during Pesach, and all of a sudden you see a whiskey bottle over there. Now you want it back? No. You have to have in your mind, everything is gone. ונמצא עובר עליו משום בל ייראה ובל יימצא. And then you're going to transgress that it shouldn't be in your possession. רבן שמעון בן גמליאל אומר, רבן שמעון, the son of Gamliel, says, כל שאין הכלב יכול לחפש אחריו. It says that he disagrees with the Tana Kama. It says as long as the dog cannot get to it, cannot sniff it out, אחרי החמץ שתחת המפולת, it means that the dog cannot get to it, הרי הוא כמבואר, then it's considered to be destroyed. But if a dog can go run and get to it, it's not considered destroyed. There's a way for you to find it. You can smell the whiskey, he can tell you right there, then
It's almost like they're telling you, listen, you have to go around and make sure that it's not seen in a way. They were
yeah. And if a dog can get to it, you're in trouble. ומבואר בגמרא, דהיינו כשהגל גבוה 3 טפחים או יותר. It means that there's a certain measurement of how much bricks are on top of it. אבל בפחות מכן, it says in less than that, if it's not a certain measurement, then צריך להוציא משם את החמץ כדי לעברו. It's not a lot of work, so go through the work and burn your חמץ. But it's a lot of work, yeah, it's okay, just leave it. שמא יוצאנו כלב משם, because you're worried and a dog will come during the Pesach, take it out, and you're going to have whiskey bottles all over the place during Pesach, and then you're going to have בל ייראה ובל יימצא. הרמב"ם כותב, the Rambam says, שרבן שמעון בן גמליאל לא בא לחלוק על תנא קמא, אלא לפרש את דין המפולת. Oh, the Rambam says, there's two opinions over here. We learned it that it's a machloket, he disagrees, but the Rambam says it's not a disagreement. He actually explains the Tana Kama. He says that Tana Kama was talking about a case when it was a lot of bricks. But you should know, if it's in a case of little bricks, you have to take it. Even Tana Kama agrees to me. Yeah.